Huh? Dig. Huh? Huh? Dirt.
Hey now, and welcome down to KCToyreviews. We are here today with Nightout Spider by SooSoo Toys, aka some artistic representation of a Noir Spider-Man. And as always, SooSoo Toys knocked it out of the park with this one. It's a very simple release, however there are some awesome details that make this piece stand out, and if you're at all curious what those are, let's go ahead, hold each other's hands, fine comb some of those details, and dive right the hell goddamn in.
I have a sticky ass.
Alright, so here we are with Nightout Spider by SooSoo Toys. And I'm going to stress something right from the beginning of this video. This is a very simple release by SooSoo Toys. And with that said, let's stress simple is never a bad thing. In fact, simple sometimes is the best way to go. Gordon Ramsay, Chef Irvine, they're all going to tell you, simplify that menu, less is more. And well, basically everything that you see in front of us is what you get with this figure. There are no crazy accessories other than some spider webs, which I guess I'll just show really quickly. Oh, those are super bright there. Put them right in front of us. We have some spider webs here. Spider webs, if you've ever owned a Spider-Man, are all the same. And then, of course, to note really quickly, we have a bunch of pairs of hands. We have him shooting his spider webs. We have one that looks like he's clinging to a wall all the way to the left there. And then all the way to the right, I mean, that's like the, hey, I'm going to grab my coffee mug hand. Now, a couple things right off the bat I will hone in on is that there is a craze for Spider-Man right now, especially with the Spider-Verse movie, Across the Spider-Verse coming out. We're about to see hundreds of variations of Spider-Man, so this figure couldn't have arrived at a better time. Secondly, I want to say that the promo pictures, in comparison to what we have in front of us, were wildly different. The promo pictures looked very clean. It was a very bright, vibrant red that I saw in those promo pictures. And when the blogger pictures came out recently, what I saw was a weathered, dirtier looking Spider-Man, and I immediately had to get my hands on it. So as we zoom into the head sculpt, as I mentioned, I mean, again, it's a simple release, but something about this head sculpt is really, really cool. We have these kind of stitching that goes down the front here, the eye plates. One thing to note, the eye plates are not removable. Again, a lot of Spider-Man releases come with the squinting eyes, the larger ones, so you can flip them and flop them, come around downtown, up and down, right back and forth. But these are, oh, almost knocked them over, but these are sculpted in place here. On the side, we kind of have this cool circular metal piece that goes over his ears. And then, as I mentioned, this awesome sweater underneath. So it's kind of like this puffy, it has a little puffy fat suit or something underneath here. So it does give him a little bit of puff underneath. And then this awesome printed spider symbol on the chest. But yeah, they did a really stellar job with the tailoring on this. In fact, as I look at this, I say this quite a bit. I want to wear this. I would probably buy this and wear this to like a Comic-Con or something. This is an awesome looking sweater underneath. Now, as far as articulation on the top half goes, it's pretty fantastic. However, one thing I would note and say to be careful about is because this is leather, I would be careful about bending it too much back and forth. My guess is this is some type of paint application that's on top that's adding that weathered look. So if you bend this back and forth too much up around downtown, you could potentially scuff some of that paint off of there, and also some creasing could happen. Now, the creasing wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing in my opinion. It adds to the weathering, so I actually kind of like that. But because this is a leather slash pleather-ish material, I would be extremely careful of all these bends. Even right there, you can see how it's kind of exposing a brighter red in between that crevice there. That could happen all over this figure, so just be very, very careful. But as far as articulation goes on the upper half, pretty incredible as you can see here.
Yeah, get ready for a street fight. You want to street fight me? Wah!
Hey? And I think overall, between the head sculpt, the jacket, the nicely tailored sweater underneath, it just has a nice flow from head to toe. And again, as you can see with the elbows and the way he's posed, there is fantastic articulation in this figure and endless posability options. Same theme as we go down here, a slight weathered look to the pant leg here. The tailoring on the jeans is, again, stellar. These look like real jeans under the right lens. Even those hem and sew lines down the side there are very nicely done. And of course, when you pair these jean cloth legs with double joints underneath, I mean, you can pose the hell out of this guy. As you can see here, you can cannonball right into a pool. And very lucky down below, we have a split cut down here, so nice little range. Oh! 100% my fault. I pushed that too much, but as you can see, ball joint at the bottom. You clearly saw that. We have a ball joint at the bottom here. Nice range on the feet. So the balance on him, the articulation, everything is just pretty fantastic. I can just let him go right away, and he can stand up on his own. And as we spin him around, one of the stars of the show is this fantastic pleather, leather, whatever the hell it is, Spider-Man trench coat. There's literally layers to this coat. This top half is kind of layered down on top of here. And then, of course, as you can see, just from top to bottom, just this really nice weathered look to this jacket, in my opinion, just adds to the details of this figure. And then as far as a wire goes, we do have a wire down at the bottom here. So basically it goes all the way at the bottom and then up around downtown, come around downtown, right from the bottom up through the top here. So the wire goes all the way from here down to the bottom, and then around the back, come around downtown. And just some last details to kind of point out. We do have this little spider symbol patch that's nicely printed on top here, and these legs that go from the top layer down to the bottom layer is a nice little detail that they added. And then in the front, kind of stupid little details. I thought these buttons were really nicely done as well. And then same thing with these cool little shoulder straps here. So overall, the details from top to bottom I thought are absolutely stellar on this piece. And I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but we do have a nice branded spider symbol stand that comes with him. If you watch my videos, you know what I'm going to say here. This is a flight/dynamic stand, so all you have is a waist grabber that comes with this. And when you do have the waist grabber around him, it really puffs out the jacket on the back of him, and it looks a little bit odd. And that's, of course, if you put the waist grabber underneath the trench coat. Because if you do put the waist grabber on top of the trench coat, and you end up keeping it that way, I could absolutely see that doing damage over time. So nice stand, bright, vibrant, again, nice spider symbol. But I wish there was just an option to swap out between a waist/dynamic stand and a crotch grabber. Because if we're going to keep this guy on our shelves forever, there are some extra steps that we all take to keep that longevity and making sure our figures are in mint condition for as long as possible. And a quick side-by-side comparison as you start to build your Spider-Verse. I wanted to throw the SooSoo de toys next to a few Hot Toys Spider-Man. We have the classic suit, we have the advanced suit, and then of course behind him we have the absolutely incredible Venom release by Hot Toys. Scale-wise, he fits right in, and I love that dark weathered look to him as you see him side by side with the very stereotypical bright and vibrant Spider-Man suit. It's a refreshing change, it's dark, it's gritty, and it shows a different side of Spider-Man. Again, as you continue to build out your Spider-Verse, this is a very welcome addition. And there we have it. Nightout Spider by SooSoo de Toys. Now, as I mentioned right from the get-go, this is a very simple release. What you see is what you get. We get some webs, we get some extra pairs of hands, and the obvious, a stand. Well, I wouldn't say obvious because there are companies, 3-0, that are producing 1/6 scale figures without a stand. At this point, you should be ashamed of yourself if you're coming out with a 1/6 scale figure and not including a stand. But that's neither here nor there because this comes with a pretty awesome stand. I say pretty awesome because, well, I still wish SooSoo would give us a swap out system of crotch grabber and waist. Give me some crotch, give me some waist. Give me a combo, little crotch, little waist. I'm always in the mood for some waist, and I am absolutely always in the mood for some crotch. But with that said, other than the stand, this is a nearly flawless release. The only possible downfall in this piece is that the weather into the leather jacket could come off over time, so be very careful how you pose that thing. But as it spins in front of us, we can clearly see the detail and the love that was put into this release. The weathered look, the contrast, the layers from head to toe, everything looks really awesome. I love that we have this weathered, darker look to this Spider-Man Noir figure, which I also could be nuts, but I'm pretty sure this is just a copy and paste of their Dark Spider. SooSoo Toys did have a Dark Spider release. I never picked that one up, but there are some striking similarities between the two. And the obvious biggest difference between the two is that the Dark Spider was pure black and white, and with this release we have a nice color theme throughout. And I think I'll hammer it in one last time. The articulation from head to toe is amazing. When you do have him up on that dynamic stand with some of the webs and the shooting hands on him, you can get some really awesome pictures. So I think that's a good time to segue into a score on this figure. And well, what comes to mind is an 8.7 out of 10. I think this is a simple yet fantastic release by SooSoo Toys. And with an 8.7 out of 10, and I think this floats right around $180 to $190, I do highly suggest picking it up. But with Across the Spider-Verse coming out, you cannot go wrong with different variations of Spider-Man on your shelf. Very similar to Iron Man, the options are endless. This is a high quality release by SooSoo Toys with excellent tailoring and fantastic shelf presence. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here today at KC Toys with an 8.7 out of 10 Nightout Spider by SooSoo Toys. Awesome piece that came out at a perfect time because Across the Spider-Verse is going to be goddamn fantastic. And then when I come home, I'm going to put every single 1/6 scale Spider-Man in my bed and I'm going to sleep with them that night. I'm not going to do anything weird. I'm just going to sleep with them by my side. Catch you guys next time. SooSoo Toys. I love you guys.